welcome into Panhandle Spotlight. I'm your host, Varsha Cavalli. We'll sit down each weekday at this time to talk to newsmakers and area leaders to get a behind-the-headlines look at what's happening in the community. Today, we're sitting down with members of the Musselman High School Theater Group. We're welcoming in Marketing Director Lori Stiles and also members of an upcoming production, Tyler Brewster and Chase Martin. We also have a special guest. Emma is here, who is Lori's daughter. Welcome in, Emma. Can you say hello?
Hello.
And how old is she, Lori?
She's 3.
Wow, and she's already in the theater, right?
Oh, yeah, she thinks she owns the theater when she's there, as they can attest to when she's at rehearsal.
Lori is the wife of theater director Michael Stiles, who's probably right in the classroom as we speak.
Yes, he is.
So he sent you to do his work, and Emma is here tagging along and helping us out. Let's get to the main reason for your visit, which is to preview an upcoming presentation of Disney's High School Musical. Welcome into the program, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello.
This is a well-known production in terms of what Disney has done with it. We've seen it on Disney Channel. Lots of folks are very familiar with it. I understand, Lori, that the kids were interested in bringing this to the stage.
Yes, every year in the spring, Mike gets together a list of possible shows that he's thinking about doing, and kids, the thespian officers, suggest possibilities. And they came upon High School Musical, and that was pretty much it. All other shows sort of took a back seat in the minds of the kids for the choice of the fall musical production. So that's how we came about it, by popular demand, because the kids that are in high school now are the ones that grew up watching this on the Disney Channel and watching High School Musical 2 and High School Musical 3, and they really, really are invested in this show, so they're doing a great job.
Well, let's bring in 2 of the leads. We have Chase Martin, who's no stranger to this program. Welcome in.
Thank you. It's so good to be back here.
Now, you are homeschooled primarily.
Yes.
But you are also a member of Musselman's show choir.
I am. I do Kaleidoscope show choir there.
Okay. And Tyler Brewster, you are the male lead. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 11th grade.
Now, we should also say that you're not just a theater guy. You're a member of the basketball team.
This is true. I play basketball for the Musselman basketball team, and this part for Troy Bolton is really like my actual life.
Now, I understand from some of the information that Lori gave me that because of your activity here, because you're here, some of the basketball guys have joined the crew and the cast. Is that true?
Yes. One of my best friends, Justin Pearl, is part of the cast, is one of the basketball team members. And there's also 6 other male characters that are on the Wildcat basketball team.
For folks who have not seen the Disney version of this, can you guys give me a rundown of your parts and a little bit of the synopsis of the play? You want to start, Chase?
Absolutely. So it's Troy and Gabriella meet at a ski resort on vacation, and then they go to school. When they get back in school, they discover that they both go to the same school, and they become best friends, and they decide to try out for the school's High School Musical spontaneously. And there's a big conflict because the theater diva, Sharpay, is used to getting every single role, and nobody else competes with Sharpay. So there's a big conflict between them, and it's going to be really interesting.
So is this a part that you were interested in pursuing? Is this a part that you see as kind of a juicy role for someone who's an actor or singer?
Oh, I think so. Gabriella is such a nice person, and it's always fun to play somebody who is the antagonist in a show, but you kind of really, really have to stretch yourself when you're playing a protagonist in a show, because when somebody writes for a nice, basic character, you really have to discover your own depth.
You have to fill that character out.
Yes, and stretch yourself as an actor, whereas if you're playing an antagonist in a show, you kind of have that written into the script already.
Let's talk to Tyler. Do you feel like this role maybe is typecasting you a little bit?
I mean, not so much. People around the theater at Musselman have been calling me Troy Bolton since the original movie actually came out. So, I mean, getting this role, it's basically me in this role, which makes it a lot easier for myself to identify the character and become one with Troy.
Are the musical numbers challenging at all for you? Is this your background? Were you in musical theater at all, or have you been part of any other plays?
I was a part of Artistic Endeavors the summer theater program at Musselman for 5 years when I was growing up, and we did musicals there every summer. But some of these songs are pretty challenging for me because, as you can probably tell, my voice isn't that high. And so hitting the high notes in some of the songs is definitely a challenge, but our music director has definitely helped us out with that.
Have they modulated any of the music to match you?
Some of it, but not much. Most of it, he's just like, you gotta get up there.
Just have to bring it.
Yeah.
Get your head in the game.
Exactly.
Right?
He sounds so good, though, when we first started rehearsing, because Gabriella in the play is supposed to, like, be blown away by Troy's voice, and when he started singing, I was literally just like, Tyler sings? Oh, when did this happen?
But I will toot Tyler's horn a little bit. When he was in middle school, he was part of a production at Musselman Middle that actually went to the state theater competition. And was it a 6th grader?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler was named Best Actor in the state of West Virginia over all the high school kids that were at the festival. So
how about that?
Don't let him shy away from his acting talent. It's there, and it's been there for a while.
Well, let's talk a little bit to Chase, because as I said, you've been on this program before, and folks who know you know that you are a very talented singer yourself. How long have you been pursuing singing and acting?
Since I was about 3 years old, when we lived overseas, my mom got me an opera teacher, and we just kind of started working. She sings as well, so when I was 3, she was just like, let's start her singing. And I took opera when I was 6 and kind of stretched this. And when we moved to America, there was so much opportunity to get into community theater and all of that, and I started out doing straight shows, and then when we moved to West Virginia, musicals came about, and it's just been going ever since then.
And anyone who's watched Chase on stage, I've seen you in a few of the Arts Nights events. You blow people away. And a little later, just to tease folks,
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you guys a chance to show everyone what you got as you sing a little portion from the song. But let's get into some of the nuts and bolts about the production. How many kids do you estimate are involved in this, Lori?
I believe we have 37 cast members, and 35 of those are students. We actually have, of course, 2 adults in the show. The role of the drama teacher is actually played by one of our Musselman faculty members, Denise Brathwaite, Miss B, for those of you out there who may be alumni. She's in the show. Come see her. She's great. And the role of Coach Bolton, who is Tyler's father in the show, is played by one of our alumni, Anthony Marchese.
So you've got 2 adults, but the bulk of the work, the hard work on this show is going to be done by teenagers. And I understand it's not just the ensemble and the main cast, but you also have tech and lighting.
Yes. I don't remember exactly how many technical students we have involved in the show, but there's quite a big number. I'm thinking it's probably at least 15, maybe 20 kids by the time we actually go to production. So there's a lot of people dressed in black backstage making the magic happen.
Well, let's talk about making that magic happen. You guys don't just show up on opening night and throw out some songs. You've been in rehearsals for several weeks at the time that we are recording this. How many evenings a week, Tyler, are you devoting to this show?
I'm going to say 6 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We usually get Sundays off, thank God.
Yes, you can.
Quite literally. But, I mean, for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours a night, 6 days a week, we're working on this show.
My understanding, I've been around a lot of very talented kids, and usually they're not just involved in one thing. How are you managing a very impressive class load, and also, several evenings a week you're in the theater?
Well, after rehearsal, or during rehearsal, when I'm off stage on a break, I try to do some of my homework that I have, and when I get home, I finish that up. And also with basketball, I try to manage both. I play basketball on Sundays with the school team.
So the one day
Yeah, the one day I have off, I'm playing basketball, getting ready for the season.
Lori, how many of these rehearsals does Emma get to go to?
She's been to several of the Saturday rehearsals, because that gives Mommy a little break. But she's been to several of the evening ones as well. If I have something going on, or if I'm there, like I was last week, I was doing headshots. Mm-hmm. Being the marketing person, I'm the one that takes all the pictures and everything. So she runs around backstage. She has her friends that she plays with, and she does a good job. She generally enjoys being down at the theater with Daddy and the kids.
So, Emma, are the kids good singers?
Yeah.
They are? Would you like to hear them sing something?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have them sing something then. Let's see, Tyler and Chase. Can you give us a little preview, a little number from the program?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, I know that something has changed. Never felt this way. And right here tonight, this could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh, and now looking in your eyes, I feel in my heart the start of something new.
Wow. Nicely done on the spot, guys. And
Thank you.
thanks. If you're interested in hearing more, that was just our little teaser. Let's talk about those dates. What are the performance dates for the general public?
The performance dates are November 8th and 9th at 7 p.m. and November 10th at 2 p.m. on the stage at Musselman High School in Inwood, West Virginia. That's exit 5 off Interstate 81. Tickets are $10 for adults and $7 for students and seniors. You can call our box office at 304-229-1900. Otherwise, tickets are just available at the door, and seating is festival seating, so the earlier you get there, the better the seat you get.
Closer to the performance, and again, those performance nights are November 8th and 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, November 10th at 2 p.m., so that's the matinee. Is it a good idea to check in with you guys to just make sure that there's plenty of room for folks? Do you imagine that this might sell out any of the evenings?
Some of the evenings may. I mean, this is a very popular show, but we don't really have any advanced seatings, but we have an auditorium that seats close to 600. So if we sell out 600 seats, this is going to be a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that we're going to have seats available.
And I am coming, as a matter of fact. We have one of our very good friends in the ensemble, so I'll see you guys in action, too. Let's talk about the preparation vocally. Now, I was talking to Chase a little earlier, and these 3 performances are not the only ones. You will be performing for your peers, the student body, during the day on Thursday. Is that right? Ahead of the performances. Why is that a challenge, Chase?
It is a challenge because in the morning it is so hard to get your voice started because a vocal teacher will tell you you cannot reach your vocal, the full extent of your range until after 10 a.m. Because if you get used to kind of a schedule of going to bed at a certain time and then waking up, your vocal cords follow that schedule, and they're like, well, we're supposed to be quiet right now because in the morning people aren't always singing. Like, in the morning, I'm humming, I guess.
No one's singing at my house in the morning.
You're just not used to that. So when you get on stage, you really have to work. And the music teacher is so great at warming us up. Matthew is amazing. But it is really, really interesting to put on a musical in the morning because you definitely have to warm yourself up.
Let's talk about the other challenge, Tyler. We know that during an in-school performance, you're going to get a lot of students there who otherwise might not come to the evening performance. Maybe they've got other activities, etc.
Right.
What's it like performing in front of your peers?
For me, the in-school performances are always the most stressful and the most nerve-wracking leading up to it because it's in front of all your peers, and they're gonna, as teenagers do, they judge, and so you'll always get feedback on how you did and what did.
I like the way he calls it feedback.
Yeah. Not always positive, but yeah, what can you do? But leading up to it, you just have to basically say to yourself, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do what I do, she's going to do what she does, and the cast is going to do what we do, and we're going to go out there and we're going to make this show as great as we can.
I imagine you have some pretty supportive friends, not only on the basketball team, you've got lots of friends from theater, from show choir, from just life in general, and of course, on those evening and the matinee performances, you're going to fill the seats with your friends and hopefully some community members. Let's hit those show times again, Lori.
It's November 8th and 9th at 7 p.m. and November 10th at 2 p.m. on stage at the Musselman High School Auditorium in Inwood, West Virginia.
Now, if you're a senior or a child, it's $7. If you're under 5, it's free.
Usually, yes.
Okay.
Unless it's a children's show specifically, like if we were doing The Wizard of Oz, we'd probably drop that to 3, but, for this show, I'm sure it's going to be 5.
And only $10 for adults. Information about this show can be had at the Musselman box office and calling
304-229-1900. And we also have a website, Musselman Theater, with the R-E theater spelling, INC.com, MusselmanTheaterInc.com.
And I know for a fact you can also Google Musselman Theater, and it shows up pretty handily that way as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Lori Stiles, Tyler Brewster, Chase Martin, and Emma Stiles, thank you so much for being our guest today on Panhandle Spotlight, Sports Radio 1340, WEPM.
WEPM, Martinsburg, yeah.